Shishaya Namaha, Om Vishamaya Namaha, Om Devakara Samudhyataya Namaha, Om Sukshmatanave Namaha, Om Shimayaya Namaha, Om Guru Murtaye Namaha, Om Sundaraya Namaha, Om Sulochanaya Namaha, Om Sumukaya Namaha, Om Charvasaya Namaha, Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Padmabhujaya Namaha, Om Mandragamanaya Namaha, Om Charumbagadharile Namaha, Om Ramaya Namaha, Om Mandira Sapakaya Namaha, Om Shedivavachakaya Namaha, Om Gayatri Achvane Namaha, Om Arpanasvikarakaya Namaha, Om Vishnu Puchakaya Namaha, Om Namo Narayana Iti Mantropasakaya Namaha, Om Swaramayaya Namaha, Om Madhurakantaya Namaha, Om Krishna Sankirtana Lolopaya Namaha, Om Stota Priyaya Namaha, Om Vitabhashine Namaha, Om Bhagvide Namaha, Om Chitrakala Visharadaya Namaha, Om Vratadaraya Namaha, Om Sadave Namaha, Om Jagatpantaya Namaha, Om Sarvalokaitaya Namaha, Om Bhakta Priyaya Namaha, Om Surdaya Namaha, Om Anukulaya Namaha, Om Neyaya Namaha, Om Sudarshanaya Namaha, Om Bhaktavatsalaya Namaha, Om Premamurtaye Namaha, Om Shulekshanaya Namaha, Om Prithivardhanaya Namaha, Om Swastidayakaya Namaha, Om Tarakaya Namaha, Om Anugrahaya Namaha, Om Vardhanaya Namaha, Om Ashitaya Namaha, Om Artaya Namaha, Om Siddhipradaya Namaha, Om Janardhanaya Namaha, Om Anuharaya Namaha, Om Mahakshaya Namaha, Om Siddheshwaraya Namaha, Om Bhashmabhushitaya Namaha, Om Atmalingaya Namaha, Om Lingashana Pratsakaya Namaha, Om Siddhisadanaya Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha, Om Kalpasakaya Namaha, Om Sushmaya Namaha, Om Vishakaya Namaha, Om Satyakaya Namaha, Om Samadakshine Namaha, Om Dakshaya Namaha, Om Ashityaya Namaha, Om Nirankaraya Namaha, Om Nirmohaya Namaha, Om Avyagraya Namaha, Om Chitakrodaya Namaha, Om Vinayashilaya Namaha, Om Savashaya Namaha, Om Kushalaya Namaha, Om Shamaya Namaha, Om Satyadharmaya Namaha, Om Nirvikalpaya Namaha, Om Viraktaya Namaha, Om Atindaya Namaha, Om Satyasandaya Namaha, Om Pavitraya Namaha, Om Madhurasvabhavaya Namaha, Om Suranandaya Namaha, Om Nandanaya Namaha, Om Prasanatmane Namaha, Om Bhaktanidaye Namaha, Om Sakshaye Namaha, Om Samatmaye Namaha, Om Sarayogine Namaha, Om Haraye Namaha, Om Sutapaya Namaha, Om Somyaya Namaha, Om Guyaya Namaha, Om Vimuktatmaya Namaha, Om Gabiraya Namaha, Om Guptaya Namaha, Om Atmaramaya Namaha, Om Srinivasaya Namaha, Om Devaya Namaha, Om Tyutidaraya Namaha, Om Dhanyaya Namaha, Om Gurave Namaha, Om Duraktikramaya Namaha, Om Ganaya Namaha, Om Bhagavate Namaha, Om Harishaya Namaha, Namaha, Om Kutasasayatrakaya Namaha, Om Abhiprayaya Namaha, Om Sarvamata Samatyaya Namaha, Om Kshamangata Bhavavatrakaya Namaha, Om Premavatara Sri Vishwananda Swami Namaha. Aito Deva Avantano Yato Vishnu Vichakrame Prativya Saptaramabhi Ekam Vishnu Vichakrame Tredani Tate Padam Samudamasya Bhagum Sure Trini Pata Vichakrame Vishnu Gopa Atavya Ato Dharmani Dharene Vishnu karmani pashrita yato vritani pashpase Indrasya yuchasakaha Tad Vishnu paramam padagum sada pashanti suryaha Direva chakshuratatam Tad vipraso vipanyavo jagruvagum sasamindate Vishnuyat paramam padam. Om Premavataraya Vidmahe Sadgurudevaya Dhimahi Tano Vishwananda Prachodayat. Om Premavataraya Vidmahe Sadgurudevaya Dhimahi Tano Vishwananda Prachodayat. Om Premavataraya Vidmahe Sadgurudevaya Dhimahi Tano Vishwananda Prachodayat. Vakatunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvighna Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Shri Krishna Vishnu Madhusudana Ketapare Narayana Chatari Vikrama Chakrapare Nityani Sajadara Sridhara Vasudeva Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Rukmini Shabhavana Share Murare Radesha Gopa Surupa Bhamani Madhya Shri Varakashaya Vakonta Pate Kumane Kamoite Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Vinapite Gamatarupa Varamurte Nirvikramaya Guhane Purnamara Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Chintamani Prakara Sattva Sukalpa Vriksha Daksha Vitesha Surabhira Vipalayanta Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Seyamana Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Enum Padanta Naravinda Naraya Kasha Varavatam Sarasitam Buddha Sundaranta Kandata Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobha Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chandrakara Savanamaya Mansi Ranagadam Pranaya Keli Kalavinasa Shamanti Bangalaritanni Yata Prakasha Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ankani Yasya Sakalendriya Vristimanti Bhashyanti Panti Kalayanti Jiran Jaganti Ananda Chimaya Sabhujvala Vigrahasya Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaita Achyuta Manadi Mananta Rupa Adyam Purana Purusham Namayo Vanamsha Vedeshu Durlabha Madurlabha Atmamakro Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Antastu Koti Shatadaksara Samprakamyo Vayora Kapi Manaso Munipungravana Sopyasti Yatra Palasinta Vichinta Tatve Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekopya Sora Chayatum Chagananta Koti Yashakti Rashi Chagananta Chayayananta Ananta Rasta Paramanu Chayanta Rasta Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yavava Pavita Vyoma Nujasta Deva Samdharya Rupa Mahima Sanayana Bhusha Shruteya Eva Nigama Pratitestu Bhakti Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratiparakhavi Rabiya Eva Nija Rupa Daya Kalabini Goloka Eva Nivasakya Vinata Bhuto Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yashama Sundara Nachintya Gunasvarupa Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramadi Murti Shukarani Amena Tishna Dhanavatara Vakaropu Vaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samavavata Ramahumanyo Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagananta Koti Kodishva Shesha Vasudhani Vibhuti Vina Brahma Nishkala Mananta Vashesha Pura Govinda Mari Purushottamaham bhajami. Ananda Chinmaya Rasatmavayamanashu Yapranidam Pratipalasparatamupedya Vilayitena Bhuvanani Jayajajasa Govindamadi Purushottamaham bhajami. Govindamadi Purushottamaham bhajami. Guru Ganami Nijagami Kaleya Tasya Devi Mahesha Harinama Suteshu Teshu Tete Prabhava Vishaya Vinitashayena Govindamadi Purushottamaham bhajami. Govindamadi Purushottamaham bhajami. Shristi Shristi Praya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Vivati Durga Dikshana Rupamami Yasya Chachesha Tesha Govindamadi Purushottamaham bhajami. Govindamadi Purushottamaham bhajami. Shiraya Tata Divikara Vishesha Yoga Sanjaya Tena Hitatapa Tegasi Neto Yasha Bhutama Pitaka Samapeti Karya Govindamadi Purushottamaham bhajami. Govindamadi Purushottamaham bhajami. Dipachireva Nidashantaramami Pretya Dipaya Devi Vidahetu Samana Dharma Yasadeva Nija Vishnu Daya Vivasi Govindamadi Purushottamaham bhajami. Govindamadi Purushottamaham bhajami. Yankarananda Jagata Jati Swayoga Vikramananda Jagananda Saroma Kumpaha Akara Shakti Mabalanga Parasamurti Govindamadi Purushottamaham bhajami. Govindamadi Purushottamaham bhajami. Yasya Ganesha Sitakala Bhatavanamya Jivanti Loka Vidacha Jagananda Dalaha Vishnu Chapatsariya Yasya Kala Vishesho Govindamadi Purushottamaham bhajami. Govindamadi Purushottamaham bhajami. Vasanyatashva Shakaleshu Vijesha Tejaha Siyanti Yaprakatayatra Vidataratra Brahmaya Esha Jagananda Vidana Karta Govindamadi Purushottamaham bhajami. Govindamadi Purushottamaham bhajami. Yapada Palavayogami Vidaya Kumbha Nande Pranama Samaye Saganadi Rajaha Vigna Vinantu Balayasya Jagatrayasya Govindamadi Purushottamaham bhajami. Govindamadi Purushottamaham bhajami. Agni Mahika Kananambo Maroti Shasha Kalasta Tata Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karana Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Just giving you a flavor of the Guru Gita, which is coming up in the summer. If you haven't registered, maybe consider it. It's a super cool commentary of Guruji about, we cannot say what about, he will say. But the Guru Gita so far, do you remember what it is about? In the essence of what we have to do. It says in the Gita it's a secret. I don't remember also anymore. So maybe it's good to read it. It's about Guru Seva, no? It's about the Guru Seva, which is the essence of the service, devotee to Bhagavan or Guru relationship. And that this Seva is enough. So, as we, in Bhakti Marga as devotees, as we know, that the Seva becomes everything. Like this morning, I shower for the day, which is full of Seva, right? In the evening, you make your prayers to close the day, which was full of Seva. You iron your clothes, you drive your car, you keep your face nice and clean. It all becomes Guru Seva. You direct your thoughts in a certain way. That becomes Guru Seva. You look and don't look at certain things. That becomes a Guru Seva. So the Guru Seva idea is very deep. And it goes as deep as, that Guruji says, the whole Bhakti Shastra or knowledge says, and for us Guru Gita is actually also a Bhakti Shastra, if you become servant of Lord Hari, a Hari Bhakta, then he will take complete care. And we have such a wonderful example in Prahlad, who is such a real Hari Bhakta. And he's a kid. He's not very old. And he has had this great fortune of having received all this knowledge by being in the womb of his mother, who was listening to Narada. How great that is. I've once been to a temple in northern Germany. This is, by the way, also the temple where Guruji met me. I could say I met him, but we say Guru comes in your life, right? And he picked me up there. And years before that, I was regularly visiting that temple of Kamakshi in northern Germany. And the priest regularly was reading the Bhagavad Gita to pregnant mothers or pregnant women. And I found that so cool. And that's also my point of this satsang, is studying the Bhagavad Gita, listening to the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says he's the effort. So in Vibhuti Yoga, recently I read it again. He says, I'm the effort. Guruji so often, he tells me, maybe some other people also, make effort. And I never realized it in this way, that when we're making effort, we are in that power of Krishna. He will amplify the effort. If we don't make effort, there is no connection really to Krishna. Pretty cool. And studying and reading Bhagavad Gita, I believe more and more, we have maybe two parties in Bhakti Marga, those that are not so prone to philosophy and say, oh, I have to do it. But I want to bring it from another angle, because you see, we have this chapter of Jnana Vijnana Yoga. And Jnana Vijnana Yoga means that by studying the Bhagavad Gita, you put jnana into your head. You put effort into your activity of studying the Bhagavad Gita. then what is the outcome? Jnana Vijnana. So you have realized knowledge. You don't have knowledge only by having read it in a book and by saying to another person, you can read it in verse 6 of chapter 4, for example. No, but you kind of know, and when you get tested on it, you naturally go with it, rather than if you haven't really studied and received inside knowledge, then a test of life might come. And although you know the number of the verse, still you act wrongly. So this is the great treasure of actually both studying the Bhagavad Gita to receive that inside knowledge. You know it. And for example, you know what to do, not to do. Some cheap offer of life comes your way. Maya we have in both ways. She's tempting us, she's testing us, she is promoting us to higher realms. And then you naturally say, no, thank you, I don't need, you know. Whereas if you don't have this jnana vijnana, then we might easily say, even though we look spiritual, then we still might take the cheap offer and pay later with pain. And Guru Seva has the same essence. Doing Guru Seva, what comes in my mind is often the word of toiling and struggling, and so it's like a gym. It's a gym for the mind. We go to a gym for the body. The Guru Seva is really a gym for the mind. The same you receive. You receive jnana vijnana. So in the end of the day, to a certain extent, it matters, did you get the work done? But to the Guru, it matters equally or much, much more is how much did you try? And the more we have tried, then that jnana vijnana is set free. For example, for years you have tried to quit smoking, right? It just won't work. And you can have the best intentions, and you've read all the books about it. And yet you can't. Because the reason of why you're doing it deeper is too strong. You don't want to give that up. So, but by studying Bhagavad Gita, receiving Jnana Vijnana Yoga, and by serving the Guru, equally like receiving Jnana Vijnana, that grace comes that suddenly you wake up one morning and you feel you can do it. And like this we progress. I think that's very important to understand now that we approach Bhakta Prahlad on this occasion of Narasimha's appearance day, because he is that wonderful embodiment of doing things right naturally, because he has received it by being in the womb of the mother, listening to Narada's teaching, listening actually to the 9 forms of bhakti, and embodying it truly with his whole being, you know? And he's a kid. He won't stand in front of you and explain you in a shastric way. He will just do it right, and he will do it right to an extent that he was tested or actually attacked on his life from many, many times. And in the end, he had not only the innocence to bring out divinity from matter, Narasimha came out of a stone pillar, but he even was the only character who remained on side when Narasimha was angry. And he was the only person being able to calm him down. So there is true power to this, what we call jnana vijnana. So like this, I want to put it in front as to, I can talk about it, but what will actually make us change is to do seva and study the Bhagavad Gita, to go into the challenge of the daily seva, and to go also into the study of Bhagavad Gita, not feeding the head, but if you have received jnana vijnana yoga, you will see, wow, I'm studying the Bhagavad Gita not really to become a professor, a Gita professor, but to actually align with Krishna. What he says is, I'm the effort. And also he says that studying the Bhagavad Gita is recognized by the Supreme Lord itself as a penance, equally as japa. So having said this, now let's dive into the Bhagavatam verse. Canto 7, chapter 8, verse 17. Satyam vidatum nityabhritya bhashitam vyaptim cha bhuteshvakileshu chatmanaha adrishyata dhyadbhutarupan mudvahan stambe Stabhayam namragannam manusham, to prove that the statement of his servant Prahlad Maharaj was substantial. In other words, to prove that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere, even within the pillar of an assembly hall, the Supreme Lord Hari exhibited a wonderful form never before seen. The form was neither that of a man nor that of a lion. Thus the Lord appeared in his wonderful form in the assembly hall. Nara means man. Guruji recently spoke often about you have to move from Nara to Narayana. So Nara means man. Narayana, in that special context, doesn't mean the Supreme Lord, but from Nara to Narayana, we go from humanity to divinity. So you become reflection of the Supreme Lord. And we have the word here that we are, or that Prahlad Maharaj, that wonderful child, is a servant of Lord Hari. Happens we are in the Hari Bhakta Sampradaya. So he is a very, very good example of a Hari Bhakta, and he has that power to actually bring out divinity from stone. And I want to guide the satsang a little bit along as to what degree we may also be able to do that. So before going into these examples of how we can bring out God from a stone, for example, we have to remember I actually listed 7 instances where he was attacked upon his life. So his father, he tried, so Hiranyakashipu, the one on the lap with the open stomach, he tried to kill Prahlad, his own son, because he didn't like his attitude. So in a good demon tradition, he should have become a demon with evil thoughts, but he did not have. But he had a completely different mindset, which was, no, I want to become, well, I want to worship Vishnu, the Supreme Lord Hari. I'm his servant. And that's very, we could say that is a very provoking stance. So his father, he got provoked and he tried to first poison him. Second, to trample over him with elephants. Third, throw him off a cliff. Fourth, burn him alive in a fire. 5, put him and lock him up in a snake pit. 6, to starve him to death, remove any drinks so that he would die from thirst. 7th, attempt to drown him in the sea. And then, of course, last but not least, that showdown in the assembly hall, which is the 8th example of of Hiranyakashipu lifting his weapon and trying to really kill his own son. But first he wanted to show him how stupid he would be by going around and provoking him. Is your Vishnu here in this wall? Is he in this pillar? Is he in this floor? And he was destroying his own palace with that weapon, the club. And then when he was hitting the pillar, it was said that there came a crack and a sound from within that pillar that was shaking all the 3 worlds. So that's pretty intense. And then we have this famous story of Narasimha coming out of the pillar. Now, I want to go through a short list of things, or actually of examples of stones or rocks, because the pillar is a rock. We so easily say, he brought him out from a pillar. That's almost to say, yeah, all the time Narasimha in that form, he was just hiding inside the pillar, which might have been hollow, and then at some point, by striking on it, that pillar broke open, and then he came out. It's like an Easter egg kind of thing, right? But that is so much not true. It depends on who is actually having the faith and how strong is that faith. Now, in Hari Bhakta Prahlad, this wonderful kid, we have seen in the previous examples how he was tested and tried to be killed. How strong is that faith? And just as a side note, us being tested, going through daily sevas and challenges, I more and more see that valid, that the the depression of Arjuna in chapter 1 of the Bhagavad Gita, it is so relevant. When you are down, when your motivation is not at the highest peak, then what always helps me is chapter 2. You don't die. You can go in, but you won't die. It can be pretty hard, but it will pass. You will be guided to a higher level. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of this challenge, because the root of fear for every challenge is that we are afraid to die. Check your thoughts. I might die. He might kill me. No, but you don't die, you know. So now some examples of where we, as a little bit more regular Haribhaktas, we are able also to bring out divinity from a stone. First example, we all know shaligrams. Shaligram stones. So they're very often worshipped in connection with the Tulsi altar, is the stones from the river Gandaki in Nepal. These are stones, and they're not required to receive any, inauguration, or they get activated, etc. These are a natural manifestations of Narayana, we say. So Shaligram stones. Equally, you have Govardhan Shilas. These are rocks from the little town of Govardhan next to Vrindavan in India, where it is said that this is Krishna himself. We have them here on the altar. And having traveled there, you see this very interesting long hill, which supposedly was much higher in the past, but every year it is leveling itself out by maybe a few millimeters or centimeters, I don't know. But today, so let's say 5,000 years later after the Leela, it is like a smooth hill. And you find these rocks larger and smaller everywhere. And you also find a cage there where people on the past, it is said, they took the shilas, they took the rocks, and they kind of, because you have to receive them as a gift from a local resident there. If a resident from there doesn't give you, you cannot receive it. So it's said that Krishna, through the residents who live there, he will give you a shila if you deserve and if it fits your life. So those poor candidates who just took a rock as a souvenir, and they had to bring them back because their life became very, very difficult. So this is the power of divinity in a stone. And even not being, let's say, as positioned as Prahlad, so high, so focused, so innocent, so faithful, yet we are able to sit down. We worship Shaligram, we worship Govardhan Shila as Narayana. Yeah? And when I received my Shaligram, it's because I prayed to have one, and once I had him, I found him, he's so alive. Yeah? So for me, it's very easy to relate to a Shaligram. Yeah? Almost easier than it is a Murti. Both is matter, but this stone, like at least for me, I can draw out divinity or feelings of divinity from that stone. And now the second example would be a rocky path. So maybe some people in the room here, we would agree that the Bhakti path in Bhakti Marga, it sometimes can be a rocky path. I don't know, would you resonate with that? And we sometimes say, wow, even simple things can become very difficult because we have to be in that gym of the mind. We have to really every day train how it is to live in an environment where you just have to act. You have to act, regardless how challenging it is. Now my question is, because that's one level up of difficulty, worshipping a Shaligram, worshipping a Govardhan Shila, yeah, everyone can do that. If you have a certain inclination and you like puja, you like the Lord, we can all draw divinity. We can bring out Narayana from the pillar, from the stone, in that example. But are we able to bring out Narayana from the rocky path, from that stone? It's already more difficult, right? When challenges really kick in, and challenge by definition means it's challenging. It's not something that we have done before. It's not something that you can handle. because then it would not be a challenge. A challenge by definition is something which is challenging to you, your whole system. So here is maybe already some candidates drop out in a way like, no, I can see that this challenge is for me. Yeah, and then we divert a little bit from the path, and we cannot draw divinity from that quote-unquote rock, a rocky path. But I think most of us we can, and we, with time, more and more, we see how every day this rocky path is orchestrated for each one of us to actually cut down suffering in the future, to make everything faster, to make everything more smooth, because we would not know how it would be, let's say, with a smoother path today, then we would extend the number of our lives far into the future. And Guruji doesn't want that. And we initially became devotees because we also don't want that. So, draw out Narayana, bring him out of a pillar of a rocky path. Third example. What about hard or tough feedback from a person? So, in a satsang, Guruji once said, you know, if you're doing only murti worship, then, especially if you connect it to personal desires, then that is what Krishna would say is rajasic worship. It's not bad per se, but he said if you are able to actually face divinity in the saints or in the sadhu, and of course in the guru, that's really different, because the murti, it will not speak to you in a way as the guru or the saint will say. Because the guru, he will give more or even verbal or interactive feedback rather than the murti. You know? So, of course, the murti will send a certain vibration, the feeling of what is pleasing and displeasing to the murti, but it will not come directly and tell you in your face, this is what you have to change. And it comes like this, and you cannot look away. So this is what I call hard and tough feedback. You can also call it tough love. So that stone pillar, are we still able on that third level of difficulty to bring out Narayana from that stone pillar if you receive tough or hard feedback? Or maybe we want to take on this day, like Prahlad, we want to take a different approach and say, no, Narayana is in that feedback. He's in that rocky, in that tough feedback which I receive. I don't bite back, but rather I see Narasimha in that feedback, and I take my time, I sit in the corner, I take it. It might be hard to swallow, because it's a rock to swallow, but actually, also as it says in the Bhagavad Gita, is you are lucky to receive that poison, because that is sattvic happiness. Right? First, it's hard to take in, but then it will lead you to a lot of good. Yeah. So Shaligram stone, Govardhan Shila worship. Okay. Rocky path. Hopefully everyone is still able to draw Narayana from that rock. Hard, tough feedback. Receiving feedback not only like in a positive or easy style, but but see tough feedback as something where Narasimha comes out from the stone pillar. Fourth point, gemstone. So a gemstone, for example, a diamond or a ruby, that is also a stone. It is super hard. The diamond is known to be the hardest substance and is used for drilling other stone. And Guruji often says that the quality of the jewel of the diamond is that shininess, that purity of the soul, and also that indestructibility of the soul. You can't destroy the soul. And when we get hammered, because we are that stone that gets hammered, is not only because, let's say, you are stone-hearted, but in a way we are stone-hearted because we have a gemstone in the heart, and the guru and the environment, let's say the world, Maya, etc., hammering on it with their feedback. And that is also a very, it's like a stone pillar where Narayana is coming to you, and the question is, are you still able to not see the stone pillar, but to draw him out? Yeah. So Prahlad, probably he would be. And he says, all of this is good. when he approached Narasimha, he said, no, I don't have desires. Whatever you want is good for me. So if we say we are servants of God and we say, you do with me whatever you want, I quit my own desires, then when the transformation happens and you as a person, you become different other than you imagined to be, your life becomes different that you ever imagined it to be, then it's because the Guru will bring out that gemstone from you that we don't see, but that is also a stone, that is also very hard in a way to receive the hammering, but also to see yourself as indestructible, right? Fifth and final point is now, let's say you would have mastered all the previous one to draw Narayana out of a stone and to really see him and not the stone, are you able to transform another person with a stone heart? A saint like Narada, for example, he could do it. He did it by sitting with the mother of Prahlad. And Prahlad was a demon, There's no way why would a demon not become a demon? But by the grace and by the power of Narada, who had the ability to transform a stone-hearted person, let's say, into a divine being, also as Narada he did with other, like Valmiki before, So this is, let's say, the ultimate level of, are you still able to do that, what Prahlad did? Are we able to rise to such a level that the good qualities come through, that we are loving, humble servants of God to that degree that when you meet a person with a stone heart, be it a very sad person, be it a very ignorant person, be it a very hateful person, a very hostile person, a very exhausted person, a person who doesn't want in the same way that you actually suggest. And are you able to transform such a person? And actually also Prahlad, he showed that because he was in kindergarten and he transformed all the other demons in kindergarten by saying, let's do some kirtan. So in that sense, thanks for having listened. Let's do some kirtan. Jai Gurudev.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Narasimhaya. Vishwananda Gurudev.
Gurudev, Gurudev, Sri Vishwananda Gurudev.
Gurudev, 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 Sri Vishwananda Gurudev.
Sri Vishwananda Gurudev, 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 Sri Vishwananda Gurudev.
Narasimhadeva Bhagavan ki,
Jai.
Bhakta Prahlad ki,
Jai.
Paramahamsa Sri Swami Vishwananda Mahaprabhu ki.
Jai.
Narasimhaya, Narasimhaya, Mahadevaya, Narasimhaya.
Narasimhaya, Narasimhaya, Mahadevaya, Narasimhaya.
Narasimhaya, Narasimhaya, Mahadevaya, Narasimhaya.
Narasimhaya, Narasimhaya, Mahadevaya, Narasimhaya.
Krishna Rupaya 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 Narasimhaya.
Narasimhaya, Narasimhaya, Mahadevaya Narasimhaya.
Narasimhaya, Narasimhaya, Mahadevaya Narasimhaya.
Narasimhaya, Narasimhaya, Mahadevaya Narasimhaya.
Narasimhaya, Narasimhaya, Mahadevaya Narasimhaya.
Krishna Rupaya 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 Narasimhaya.
Narasimhaya, Narasimhaya, Mahadevaya Narasimhaya.
Narasimhaya, Narasimhaya, Mahadevaya Narasimhaya.
Narasimhaya,
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Yatindraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangala me Yatindraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangala me Prapati Dharmikarataya Mangala Mangala me Prapati Dharmikarataya Mangala Mangala me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Sarigrama Pratishtitaya Mangala Mangala me Sarigrama Pratishtitaya Mangala Mangala me Ridandatharine Godagrajaya Mangala Mangala me Ridandatharine Godagrajaya Mangala Mangala me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Range Sakin Kirarataya Mangala Mangala me Range Sakin Kirarataya Mangala Mangala me Mananataya Tarinataya Mangala Mangala me Mananataya Tarinataya Mangala Mangala me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Mangala Mangala me Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Bhakta Jano ke Sankata Dasa Jano ke Sankata Charana me dura kare Om Jai Jagadish Hare Jyotai ve Panapave Dukha vinase manaka Swami dukha vinase manaka Sukha sampase karave Sukha sampase karave Ashtami te tanaka Om Jaya Jagadish Hare Mata Pita Tumba Mere Sharana Graho Me Kisaki Swami Sharana Graho Me Kisaki Tuma Bina Ora Na Duja Tuma Bina Ora Na Duja Ashta Graho Me Kisaki Om Jaya Jagadish Hare Tuma Purana Paramatma Tuma Antarayami Swami Tuma Antarayami Para Brahma Parameshwara Para Brahma Parameshwara Tuma Sake Swami Om Jaya Jagadish Hare Tuma Karuna Ke Sagara Tuma Parana Karata Swami Tuma Parana Karata Me Sevaka Tuma Swami Me Sevaka Tuma Swami Kripa Karo Bhavata Om Jaya Jagadish Hare Tuma ho Eka Gochara Sabke Pranapati Swami Sabke Pranapati Isa Vindi Milam Dayamaya Isa Vindi Milam Kripamaya Tuma ho Me Tumasi Om Jaya Jagadish Hare Dina Bandhu Dukha Harata Tumara Shaka Mere Swami Tumara Shaka Mere Karuna Hata Badao Karuna Hata Badao Sharana Pada Tere Om Jaya Jagadish Hare Vishaya Vikara Mitao Paparo Deva Swami Paparo Deva Shraddha Bhakti Barao Shraddha Prema जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट दस जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे मन चाकर राखो जी गिरधारी दादा चक्र राखो जी गिरधारी दादा चक्र राखो जी गिरधारी दादा चक्र राखो जी मन चाकर राखो जी गिरधारी दादा चक्र राखो जी गिरधारी दादा चक्र राखो जी गिरधारी दादा चक्र राखो जी ओ चक्र राखो चक्र राखो चक्र राखो जी चक्र राखो चक्र राखो चक्र राखो जी बाने चक्र राखो जी गिरधारी दादा चक्र राखो जी श्यामा मने चक्र राखो जी गिरधारी दादा चक्र राखो जी गोविंद मने चक्र राखो जी गिरधारी दादा चक्र राखो जी गिरधारी दादा चक्र राखो जी गिरधारी दादा चक्र राखो जी त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या प्रवीणा त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वा मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वा मम देव देव गोविन्द असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति 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 लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम प्रेम से बोलो श्री लक्ष्मीनारायण भगवान की श्री भूतभृतेश्वर सिंह भगवान की श्री राधा कृष्ण कन्हैया की अवतार क्रिया बाबाजी की श्री मनुजाचार्य की प्रेम से बोलो सद्गुरुदेव श्री स्वामी विश्वानंद महाप्रभु की ओम क्रीं कृष्णाय गोविंदाय गोपीचानोरपाय हराय परम पुरुषाय पारकर्म मंत्रे तत्तत औषधश्च समरा समरा मृत्यु मुच्य मुच्य ओम नमो भगवते महासुदर्शनाय दीप्तिज्वलप्रिताय सर्वजीवनामुपत परस्महि परब्रह्मणे परज्योतिषे स्वाहा ओम शांति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम जय जय श्री राम